Why Swiss watches are getting more expensive in America. Prepare for a significant surge in the price tag of Swiss timepieces in the United States. A development that could cast a shadow over a flourishing sector for Swiss watchmakers. The American market, still in its infancy when it comes to high-end watches, is about to face a new challenge in the form of tariffs, potentially disrupting a rare success story for Swiss watch companies. Despite a global downturn in luxury spending, US watch enthusiasts continue to splurge. Swatch, the parent company of prestigious brands like Omega and Longines, has reported a double-digit increase in sales in the US market during the first half of the year. Similarly, Richemont, the conglomerate behind esteemed watchmakers Vacheron Constantin and IWC Schaffhausen, has witnessed a sales boost of over 10% in the Americas for 3 consecutive quarters. But here's where it gets controversial. With the looming threat of tariffs, the future of the Swiss watch industry in the US is uncertain. Will the tariffs deter American buyers, or will the allure of Swiss craftsmanship prevail? And this is the part most people miss. The potential impact of these tariffs on the global watch market could be far-reaching, affecting not just Swiss watchmakers, but the entire luxury watch industry. So, what's your take on this? Will the tariffs dampen the US market's appetite for Swiss watches? Or will collectors continue to invest in these timeless pieces? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Switzerland, shocked by historic 39% US tariffs. Global trade war escalates. Imagine Switzerland, a nation known for its neutrality and precision, suddenly finding itself at the center of a storm with the highest US tariffs in Europe. This isn't just any setback. It's a blow that feels like a slap in the face, especially given Switzerland's recent efforts to foster goodwill and prevent a global trade war. But here's where it gets controversial. Many are questioning whether Switzerland's negotiation strategies were effective, or perhaps even counterproductive. On Friday, this news dominated every conversation and broadcast. One prominent Swiss newspaper, Blick, went so far as to call it the country's greatest defeat since the French triumph at the Battle of Marignano in 1515. Just weeks earlier, Switzerland's government appeared confident. In May, the country hosted a crucial meeting between the US and China in Geneva, aiming to avoid a trade conflict between the two economic giants. This event gave President Karin Keller-Sutter a chance to meet with US Trade Secretary Robert Lighthizer. The outcome seemed promising. Switzerland was reportedly expected to be second in line after the UK for a favorable trade deal, with a suggested tariff rate of just 10%. However, these hopes were quickly dashed. As the August 1 deadline approached, a final phone call between Keller-Sutter and President Trump failed to yield any concessions. Instead, the tariffs were set at a staggering 39%, surpassing even the initial threat of 31%. Some Swiss politicians are already pointing fingers, suggesting that their negotiation tactics were either too weak or too submissive. Yet the truth might be simpler. Trump sought significant deals, and Switzerland simply didn't fit the bill. The country's relatively small size and limited market for US goods made it a less attractive partner. Moreover, it's unclear how many meaningful discussions Swiss trade negotiators actually had with their American counterparts. According to the Swiss government, the main issue is the trade deficit with the US. Trump views trade deficits, when a country sells more to the US than it buys, as a fundamental problem for the US economy. While this perspective is not widely accepted by economists, Trump believes that tariffs can shield the US manufacturing sector, which has seen job losses due to overseas competition. In 2024, Switzerland's trade deficit with the US was $47.4 billion, though this figure drops to $22 billion when service industries are included, a detail Trump conveniently overlooked. Switzerland exports more to the US than it imports, particularly in sectors like pharmaceuticals, gold jewelry, watches, and machine tools. To address this imbalance, Switzerland has taken several steps. The government eliminated tariffs on US industrial goods, and major Swiss companies such as Nestlé and Novartis promised substantial investments in US facilities. These investments have already made Switzerland the sixth largest foreign investor in the US, creating 400,000 jobs. However, balancing the deficit remains challenging. With a population of just 9 million, many Swiss citizens are reluctant to purchase US products. Gas-guzzling vehicles are impractical for alpine roads, and US cheeses and chocolates, while delicious, don't quite match Swiss tastes. Jan Atteslander, head of foreign trade at Economie Suisse, an organization representing Swiss businesses, expressed frustration. He emphasized the importance of stable relations with the US, highlighting the uncertainty that fluctuating trade policies create for Swiss enterprises. This sentiment reflects the broader anxiety among Swiss businesses, who fear potential job losses if the 39% tariff remains unchanged. Switzerland has a narrow window of opportunity until August 7th, when the tariffs are scheduled to take effect. During this time, the government will intensify its negotiations. However, it's unclear what leverage Switzerland has left. The country has already made substantial concessions and commitments. Any further action might be retaliatory, such as withdrawing investment offers, imposing reciprocal tariffs, or even cancelling its order for US F-35 fighter jets. On Swiss National Day, the equivalent of America's Independence Day, President Keller-Sutter addressed reporters. She acknowledged that talks with the US had gone well, but emphasized that the trade deficit remained a sticking point for President Trump. Many Swiss citizens felt betrayed, seeing their country punished for its economic competitiveness and innovation. Others remain optimistic, recalling that Switzerland has weathered economic shocks before and trusting in its ingenuity to navigate this crisis.